So when one is applying a Marxian perspective when analysing the noble field of employment or labour, they are drawing their inspiration from the writings of this man, Karl Marx.
Such an approach is useful in discerning the value of our labours in a capitalist context.
You might be thinking, Karl Marx, the communist guy, what could he have to say about employment?
Well, if you haven't been keeping up with your assigned readings, it would surprise you that an enormous amount of his writings were on the topic of capitalism.
So what is the basis of Marxist thought? To Marx, there was a social base at the core of the capitalist system.
Marx was interested in the effects that capitalism has on the people who toil within it.
At the core of this is the land ownership and private property. Imagine a forest. In the beginning is owned by no one.
Artisans can come into the forest and freely collect wood.
They can then craft the wood into whatever they want. They might make a chair, then they can sell the chair for money, receiving the full price of their labour.
Now imagine that a rich man comes along and buys a forest. The forest is now his own private property. Everything has now changed for the artisans that used to collect the wood.
They are now a member of the proletariat. Now they have to work for the owner of the forest, the capitalist, for a meagre wage.
The capitalist now owns the chair that they made from the wood, which he can now sell for more money that he paid on the worker. Under the capitalist system, what used to be freely owned by all the people is now owned by a select few.
The profits all flow to the owner, which he can use to buy more forest or build more factories to make more chairs, for all the never-ending goal of increasing profit. These were the two social classes that Marx believed divided the world.
Those who own the means of production, whether it be land or factories, who Marx called the bourgeoisie, and those who own nothing, who can now only sell their physical labour power, the proletariat.
It is a relationship of pure exploitation and at its core inherently unfair. This is what Marx saw the social base for the capitalist system, never to be taken for granted.
To Marx, the great question was, why does the proletariat allow themselves to be exploited as such? Why society as a whole allow the capitalist system to exist?
Well, Marx believed that in order for the capitalist machine to keep running smoothly, the needs of the system outweigh any personal rights to freedom and autonomy.
So you might be thinking to yourself, this doesn't sound like me. I don't want to work for the capitalist system. I work for my own needs, to buy the things I want and to do the things I want to do.
But this is a lie.
You are not a free and unique person. You are only a cog, one of a great multitude of cogs in the capitalist engine. This machine must keep working.
The fact that it dehumanizes and alienates the workers is irrelevant.
We go to school or university and are taught the necessity of production.
Not the University of Sydney, because here we are taught Marxism and learn the truth.
We are coerced, tricked into a society that is built only to facilitate production and earn profit for our capitalist masters. We will all live a regimented life of endlessly repeating back-breaking labour so that standardised commodity production can continue.
We must remain obedient and complacent. Think this is a bad idea? Want to speak up? Well, tough. Under this structure, free thought and creativity are suppressed, for such dangerous ideas could damage the system.
There was only one conceivable way out of this rat maze, and that is for labourers to seize the means of production and revolt. As Marx himself famously decreed,
Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
It's good enough.